Welcome back, I'm Felix, and today I am reacting to Kabir. He's in America, and he's at the gun range getting ready to fire some guns. So I thought it'd be interesting to see his reaction. He's in Texas. He has some other videos. I think I'm watching this one out of order, but I'm going to go back and probably react to all his videos. I like watching his reactions. I've even reacted to him reacting to stuff. So I can't wait to see how he likes shooting guns in America. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's shoot them up.
A lot of Americans that are watching this will be like, that's no big deal, but this is really new to me.
Wow.
Yeah, if you're not used to that, it's a culture shock.
Look at this. This is unreal.
Do you want to get out?
I do.
Take them home.
Staccato XL.
Unfortunately, we don't have the one I really like, which is the XC. XC
no.
is we're gonna get worked on by Staccato. They do a really good
It's
job.
a 50 caliber round. It's almost as big as my hand. That is incredible.
Yeah, I can never get into collecting guns. This is an expensive hobby to get into, and I'd rather get into car collecting.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Okay, so we're about to take the class. We're about to take an intro into handgun class, which I definitely need because I've never used a handgun before. So yeah, this should be fun.
It has been, sorry for all the pauses in the beginning here, it's just some things popping in my head. Like, I haven't fired a gun in a long time. Like, I've fired a rifle, a couple of rifles, but actually I've never fired a handgun. Unless you count a toy handgun. Otherwise, I've never fired a handgun. But I mainly fired rifles. I wonder how many other people haven't actually fired a handgun. Because you think, oh, they probably fired a handgun, but if you're a hunter, you don't really need a handgun. So it's possible they haven't even fired one either.
To slide in everything we're going to do. Cool. So we've got that done. Now what we're going to do is we're going to hold the gun in a manner that's going to prevent us from getting a slide bite. Slide bite is when this thing comes back and you have a piece of skin back there.
Okay.
So a lot of people will go like this thinking that's the correct way to shoot.
Right.
What do you see wrong with that? You have something in the way that's going to come.
Oh yeah.
This is going to come back regardless of whatever's in the way. This is metal and skin.
And if your hand's that's going to hit your hand.
Yep.
Right.
Metal against skin.
Yes, another pause. My aunt was firing a handgun. She told me about this, where she was holding the gun, but her thumb, was in the way. Like, she was holding the gun. I'm trying to think. Basically, like, she was holding the gun. Let's see if I can get it. And oh, I'm on the wrong side. I had it right. Basically, she had her thumb in the way of the slide hammer. So when that thing went back, it broke her thumb, and it never healed right. Like, there's a bump now right here on her thumb. So yeah, she learned a valuable lesson that day. Watch where you put your thumb. So yeah, it's because in TV shows and stuff, you know, if you know guns, you know they're not holding right. Like, as a kid, you thought it was cool that, you know, they're dual wielding. You can't really dual wield handguns because they got a nice kickback to them. So, you know, it's fantasy is awesome, but reality, you're not doing that.
Who wins every time?
Metal.
Metal. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab the gun just like this. See how my fingers are here, thumbs here, index finger. So now what I'm going to do is just gently place this hand right here so my thumbs are right there, so you're on top of each other.
Okay.
See how I'm just wrapped around just like that? Now that you're on target or ready to go, you just line up your sights just like that. Your turn.
Right. Okay, so it was kind of
Take this one.
right
here.
Screwing up already. Gonna lose that thumb. That's what I was talking about. That's pretty much how I think that's how she was holding it, really. Like, I don't have a gun to really demonstrate, but her thumb was in the way. Did you see how his thumb was? If he left his thumb down, it would have got broken.
Just lean this. And then we're going to drive our thumbs forward. So point your thumbs at the target. So go ahead and point at Steve. Let's get those thumbs long and long. Yeah. Okay. Come up a little bit. There you go. Just like that. Just like that.
Okay.
So now what we're going to do is raise this up eye level. You're going to look through this V. What you're going to do is take this little green ball and put it right in that basket.
Okay, there we go.
All right. So it's either a right eye or left eye dominant, whichever you're strongest with.
Yeah, right eye.
You still see that target or that front post?
Nope.
All right, so get this guy eye level to where you see
Okay.
that front post.
Oh, yeah, I still see
All
it.
right, that front post, perfect. That's how you want it every time. You want this thing right in the middle of this
Okay.
guy and even on the top.
Okay.
So when this guy's there, you're going to put that right in the center of that bullseye,
Right.
and that's how you're going to get right on target.
Okay.
I just watched him talk about that, and I probably couldn't hit the bullseye for save my life. I mean, I knew about the aiming and all that, but like I said, I haven't fired a gun in a long time, and I don't know if and as for dominant eye, I was thinking which eye is dominant. I'm losing my vision, not like going blind, but as I get older, my vision's getting blurry, and it sucks because I used to have 20/20 vision. I don't know what I haven't been an eye doctor in forever, but yeah, it's amazing. You know, that little dot up front. You know, if you don't have that perfect in there, you know, you're going to miss your target. And I remember shooting the gun with the rifle, and I think I have it lined up, and I'm shooting the dirt, or I'm shooting almost over the target. It's like, geez. It took me a moment to get lined up. I remember finally getting the target and getting it right. Same with bow and arrows. Is like, well, no, not the same. Those are different because the wind really affects those. But yeah, he's talking about that. It's like, oh yeah, I remember all that. And video game, it's not the same in video games, by the way. Yeah, because one, you don't have the recoil, and two, it is different when you fire a real one versus the video game.
All right, so now that we've got this part done, we've got grip, we've got the sight line. Let's go ahead and put our finger on the trigger. All right, so we want just a little bit of finger on the trigger.
Just a little bit. Okay.
Not your whole finger.
Take this guy and split her right in half.
Okay. There we go.
All right, so now you're lined up on target. You're using this top front post right into that rear post. Now I want a nice, clean, slow trigger pull.
Nice, clean, slow.
Perfect, just like that. All right, take your finger off the trigger. Hold tight. I'm going to rack it again.
Okay.
All right, let's do it again.
All right. Nice, clean, slow.
Nice and slow. Perfect, just like that every time. What I'm looking for is to see how much barrel movement we have by squeezing that trigger. So if you do it too fast, your barrel will dip down like that.
Okay.
If you're right-handed, that's usually what we all do. It'll always go just like that every time. So a nice slow trigger pull will keep this thing right lined up with your target.
Okay.
Nice and slow, go for it. Perfect. You're feeling a little bit of a flinch there. That's pretty normal for our first-time shooters. Until you get good and comfortable with that recoil, you're going to have a little bit of that.
Yeah.
And that's also going to make your gun dip just a little bit because you're fighting that recoil. And a lot of people will push down to try and get that to correct itself.
Okay.
Let the gun do what it's going to do no matter what. You're not going to win.
I was just curious. I wonder if this is a real gun or just a prop gun. Like it doesn't actually fire. Because I kind of wonder about, you know, the gun training, gun safety. Do they use real guns? Is those real bullets? I hope it's a prop gun because you never know. You'll get that one idiot. There's always one. There's always one idiot that's just not listening, and next thing you know, someone's shot.
All right, go ahead and send one into the chamber.
Send one into the. Oh, yeah.
All right, remember to keep our finger off the trigger.
Yep, off the trigger and the.
There we go.
There we go.
Good,
Yep.
good. It takes a little while once
Yeah,
you get
yeah,
there.
well,
Yep, once you get it there. All right, so bang, bang, bang. We've shot 5 rounds, and then all of a sudden we have a malfunction.
Okay.
So when that happens, we're going to do step 1, drop the magazine.
Okay, drop the mag.
Yep,
So
nope.
that's-
Magazine would be that one there.
Oh,
Finger
right,
off the
drop
trigger.
mag,
Drop the
Yeah.
mag. All right, step 2, what do you think it's going to be?
Yep.
Work that slide. There we go. Don't worry about the bullets. Let's check real quick to see if there's anything in that chamber. All right, we got
Nope.
everything out.
Yep.
Just take that magazine,
Okay.
load her back up.
Load it back up.
All right, send one to the chamber.
Send one into the chamber.
All right, you're ready to rock and roll. Bang, bang, bang. All right,
Okay.
let's get the gun unloaded.
So unload.
Good.
Up,
You got it.
up.
Bam, bam.
Empty.
Yep,
And
you got it.
Okay.
Then we'd have to load up another magazine, go to town, and have fun. that's pretty much it in a nutshell. There's really not a whole lot of complicated stuff you got to worry about. It's just following a sequence of orders. Step 1, magazine. Step 2, slide. That's for loading, unloading. Magazine first, slide second. A malfunction. Magazine first, slide second.
Just getting into the rhythm.
Getting into the rhythm. So a little review. We're going to go over
Shots of the bullet.
what the gun rules were. Do you remember what gun rule number 1 was?
Oh, yes. It's keep it pointed at Steve.
Gun is always loaded.
Gun is always loaded.
Until
Assume
you
it's always
physically load.
yes.
Yep.
So always.
I was going to say that if did anyone catch that, how especially the instructor made sure not to point it at anyone. He always turned away. And then Kabir was doing the same thing, making sure to point away. That's what he's talking about, always point at Steve. Never, like he said, always assume the gun is loaded. Even if you know you just unloaded, assume it's loaded. Because that's how accidents happen. You assume, I unloaded, it's good. Boom, you done shot someone and possibly taken someone's life. So always assume it's loaded. Don't play around with guns. They're not a toy. I know someone says, there's toy guns, but real guns, they're not toys. They're to be taken serious. But yeah, always assume it's loaded. Even though I haven't fired a gun in a long time, that's one rule I always remember. Always assume it's loaded. Never point it at anyone. Even like the, I can't think of what caliber or what gun it is. The ones where you load and you got to it basically almost like you're breaking it in two and you got to load the shells in it. Even if you have that open, you still don't point it at anyone. Anything could happen. You could accidentally knock it back and then boom, you done shot someone. So yeah, no matter what the gun is, always assume it's loaded. And one of the things, you may talk about it here in a second, but did you notice how he was clearing it? He was doing it more than once. And it wasn't like he did it one, two, sometimes I've seen people do it 3 times. They'll do it a couple times, and you saw how he was looking in the barrel. He just makes sure you should see daylight. If you don't see daylight, there's something in there, and you need to get that out. So you try to clear it. If that's not working, you may have to disassemble the gun. But otherwise, that's why he was looking down the barrel, just to make sure there was nothing in it. And once again, gun safety, always assume it's loaded. Seriously, don't play around with guns. They're not a toy. They're fun to shoot if you're into that. It's not for everyone. I know I'm talking a lot about this, just I cannot emphasize how you need to take this serious. People who don't take this serious. What the worst part is, the people who don't take this serious are the ones who get people killed, which pisses me off. It's like, you didn't take it serious and you took someone else's life. And, you know, I hate to say it, it's like, why couldn't you just play with this by yourself, so to speak? But anyway, let's get back to it.
Gun rule 2.
Point it at Steve.
Let's go. Did the class, passed it, I think. Now ready to make something go.
Of course you passed it, you would be shooting. If he's at a good gun range, if he didn't pass, they would not let him shoot. So just to let you guys know. Sadly, there are some bad ones that just don't care. I want to jump ahead here. Well, not on the video, but just to say, if you saw all those bullets there, if you drop something over on that side, do not go get it. Do not go get it. Tell the instructor. They'll either get everyone to stop shooting, depending on what it is. If it's a magazine, they may have another magazine for you to use and just leave that one. But yeah, do not crawl over there or climb under that. I don't think you can climb. Most of them I don't think you can climb under. But do not try to go over there because you might get shot. Not only is it just gun safety, but common sense. You don't want to be on the side where the bullets are flying. Oh. How tall is he? Yeah, that's correct. The cameraman gets to take a couple shots.
bro. So, pinky here, push all the way down, release immediately. All right. You want to try it? Make sure you use your right hand. Nope. So you're doing that. Don't do it like this. Pushing it straight down. This is pressing onto your pinky. You're holding it back with your pinky.
Right. Okay. So hold it.
Yeah. And then push it straight down.
Straight down.
See how it got stuck? I'll give it a slight slap. No, slap behind here.
Okay.
There we go. Now it's ready to fire.
Okay.
Right. Now after you fire all 6 rounds, all 8 rounds, you will see the piece of metal pops up. If you could retrieve, so this piece right here.
Okay.
If you could retrieve it, that
It looks like it's under there. It looks like you can climb under there.
would be great. But if it falls down range, just leave it down range and let us know, okay?
So I'm saying
We
earlier.
do need these back.
Okay.
Alright? Go ahead and pick the gun, fire 8 rounds.
So I position it like
So
this.
it's like a rifle, so you can be holding your grips right here.
Okay.
Finger straight.
I've never fired anything like
Okay,
this.
so finger straight, finger straight.
Okay.
Like that, finger straight.
I wonder how long he's been an instructor. I don't know how long he's been an instructor or anything about it. The reason I bring that up is like, I don't think he realized he's talking to someone who's never fired a gun, has no clue what they're doing, because he's talking to him like he should know this. Some people do that without realizing they're doing it, so I'm kind of wondering if he's doing that without realizing he's doing it.
Put your right feet further back behind you. Bring it up. You're gonna aim with a little small circle. You're gonna aim with this little small blade right here. All in the middle. Lean forward. Not lean back. Always lean forward. Pick it off safe. I don't like it. Little thing inside the trigger. Finger inside the trigger. Push it forward. Fire when ready. Aim low. Okay. Do not aim at the head.
Wow.
Look at that. Wow. Guns are loud. No, did you see it? It popped up out of there.
Process again, all right?
Okay.
All right, man. Enjoy.
Thank you. Wow. Oh my God. All right.
I've never seen anyone load it like that. To be honest with you, I don't think there's just one way to load it. But I also think he might have been trying to get him to load it like that so he wouldn't get pinched. That's one thing I've learned in life is like if someone tries to tell you there's only one way to do something, depending on what it is, sometimes there really is only one way to do something depending on what it is. But as for this, I don't know if that's the only way you can load it. I've seen people load it, like some people just smack it real quick, which is probably not the best way to do it, but I've seen people load it a little different than this and not get pinched. So there's probably a few ways you can load it. I wouldn't say there's a lot, but there's probably a few.
Damn. I can't.
I think he's leaning back. That's something else I just thought of. A lot of ranges won't let you do rapid fire. And I was thinking about that, why that is. When he was doing that training thing, it kind of dawned on me that with rapid fire, you're more likely to get a jam. So that could be the reason why they don't allow rapid fire. It does look like he's leaning back more. Hey, look at that.
Oh, that thing is insane. The first one was crazy. This one is like different universe. The power, like, I've got all my weight behind it. Like, I'm not a small guy, but it's even pushing me. Like, I can't even control the thing. Like, it's insane. Like, guys, you have to experience this. Like, any Brits watching this, any British people, any people that aren't Americans, you need to get to Texas. You need to try this thing out, because I mean, this is powerful, powerful, powerful.
I need to find a gun range around here now. I want to go shoot some guns.
Let's get you loading it. I don't think I got you loading it in.
Huh?
I don't think I had you loading it in one end.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought he double shot was someone next to him. Oh, did this guy jam?
Man. Yeah, this is crazy. I didn't expect it to be so fun. Like, just, yeah. Crazy experience. Definitely do it again.
Oh. There we go. When I was talking about rapid fire, I meant like with the single handgun or the rifle he was using. Some people can pull the trigger faster. Those aren't really meant to do rapid fire, so that's what I was talking about. Those.
Holy I mean, the M1 Grand is crazy. This is like a different universe. Different universe. Max speed. Okay.
Got through that time.
To the NASA Space Center in Houston. Cannot believe I'm here. It is a super hot day, but I'm super excited, man. Like I'm a massive space fan. Like a lot of you guys might know who follow the channel for a while. Love anything to do with outer space, so.
There's that guy right there. He looked like he was trying to move out of the camera, and everywhere he turned, he had the guy in the camera.
It's going to be awesome, man. Just look at all of the. I'm going to try and find some spaceships. Hold on a second. Like, guys, man, I really can't overestimate like how cool this is for me right now. You know, anybody that's watched like the old, you know, space launches with the shuttle, it's always like, Houston, we have a problem. So just being in Houston. Like, forget about being like here. Just being in Houston is so cool. But like, you know, to actually be in the NASA Space Center in Houston is just awesome. Like, so that's a life-size shuttle. I mean, it's a lot bigger than I thought it would be. Like, for some reason, I thought that this would be way smaller than this. But I suppose it needs to have enough space for what, the 8 astronauts? Or is it 4? I think it's 4 astronauts. But yeah, so cool. I don't know why I'm taking a selfie video of me, you know, with all of this in the background, but I hope you guys can see how excited I am, man. I know the lighting's pretty bad in here, but yeah, it's just such a cool place to be.
Your team's problems are becoming more complex, but with Lucid, you can collaborate from anywhere.
I don't think this is a life-size replica, like, of the rover. No, it's definitely not. I think this is probably like 4 times the size of it.
No, that might be actual size because those things are pretty big. Is that the rover? But yeah, those things are way bigger than you think. I thought that was like a landing shuttle. Or is that what the rover used to land on? Is that the one went to Mars? Anyways. But yeah, I think that's actual size. And I really want to go to this. I would love to go down there and see all this. I used to love space stuff. I just got away from it. Maybe I should get back into it.
But I could be wrong, to be fair. I mean, nah, I don't think this is a replica size. Simulator rides, $10. I would have thought that would have came with the ticket, but who knows? This is really cool. So this basically is like a graphic that shows the Earth and the distances of the other celestial bodies. So like the moon is 283,000 miles from us. And then Mars is 225 million kilometers. That's crazy. I mean, that puts into perspective. So, 225 million kilometers from Earth. And then you've got Europa, which is, wow, over half a billion kilometers. Jupiter's massive. Like, you can't even get the whole of it in this graphic here. And then you got Titan, over 1 billion, and then you got Saturn. Yeah, pretty crazy. What is the bottom? Wow.
Oh,
United States Laboratory Module. So I'm getting.
That was interesting. He went to talk about the bottom and then cut it out. Oh. I felt like something bit me on my leg. I wonder if something happened. Maybe someone said, "You can't record that."
Guessing this is like the section of the International Space Station where they like conduct experiments and stuff. Yeah, this is pretty sweet, to be fair. So that's what the ISS must look like on the inside of the US module. So this is all the stuff that they've experimented on and everything. It's pretty cool. Guys, do you think it's too late for me to become an astronaut? Do you reckon they have any apprenticeships for NASA astronauts? Should I start taking the exams? Just got a ticket for the tram tour, or 2 tram tours. No idea what to expect. Mission control.
Test the effects of low Earth orbit's environment on components of radiation shielding and protection materials.
ISS updates. Stay current on International Space Station activities, the crew's daily work, research, and key milestones.
Includes 11 experiments and samples, which will be retrieved from the Missy platform after months on the exterior of the space station.
Wow.
These samples will further our understanding of how various materials respond to ultraviolet radiation.
Super interesting. I think there's a live stream of the of Earth from the International Space Station that like runs like constantly, like 24 hours a day, which I think is really interesting. Like, just to be able to see the Earth from the perspective of the ISS, you get to see the rotation of it, the curvature of the Earth. I suppose the another sort of like benefit of that is like, people like the flat earthers who say that the Earth is flat. I guess this kind of like disproves that, because I just don't get personally, the whole concept of the Earth being flat. Like, where does that even come from? Like,
Yeah, flat earthers come from people who are uneducated. That's where that comes from.
The Earth clearly is round, isn't it? I mean, we've seen it.
What do you mean?
Like, we know it's round. Wow, look at this guy. Robonaut astronaut helper. What does it say? Robonaut is an astronaut that is designed to use the same tools and do the same work as an astronaut. Robonaut can work on the International Space Station and could help explore the moon and Mars in the future. Robonaut was tested on the ISS and returned to Earth. An upgraded version of the robot will join the crew soon on the station. Wow, so it's actually tested. I didn't realize. I
You see it had the GM logo on it? The GM helped make that?
thought this was just still in R&D.
They just
they were still designing.
Or did they just invest in it? Because sometimes companies will invest in it so they can put their name on it. So I'm kind of wondering, did they actually help with it or did they just invest in it?
Really, really cool that they're going to use robots. To be fair, like, I do think we should, because robots don't need food, they don't need to sleep. They can just keep on working, right? They can just keep doing science, So it's 200.
Well, that yawn hit me out of nowhere. Man, wasn't expecting that. My eyes are watered. Oh, my God. Oh, give me a sec. Oh, my goodness. Okay. I don't know where that yawn came from.
40 pounds. Wow. Pretty big dude. So this is what an astronaut sleeps in. Crazy. So they lie. Oh, yeah, because there's no gravity. So they sleep lying upwards as if they were standing up. That's so weird. I suppose because there's no gravity, is there any sense of like up and down? Like what is up and what is down, if you know what I mean? Because you can float, can't you? So this is a toilet. Wow. That is so weird. Or as they call it, a waste management system.
It's like a vacuum. It has to be like a vacuum because if you just pee in it, it's just going to sit there. So it has to actually suck it in. So you think anyone's used it for that? I'm sure someone has. As many people have been up there, I'm sure one of them has either thought about it or has.
But where do they, so what do they number 1 and number 2 down this yellow little cap?
You got to hold it.
The gift store. I'm like a kid in a candy.
Could you imagine if now the one like you sit down on it, but then that you hold to the front. But if you had to hold that to the back, like hold it back there, I was like, there's no way, because I would probably get a muscle spasm or something, jerk, and then there's poo everywhere.
There's just so much memorabilia. I could easily spend like $500 in here if I'm not careful. But
I don't know.
I'm on a
that.
tight budget, so I'm going to watch my expenditure, or at least I'm going to try.
God, my mind's in together. When he's spun past his space shuttle keychains, I'm not going back to it, but it was. Hold on. Let me get my mind all together. Okay. NASA space. Okay, let's go.
This is Pod 5, the first fully immersive sleep system. Intelligent, adaptive.
And this is the food court here at the NASA Johnson Space Center in Houston. Let's see what options they have. I'm trying to find a menu. Seems pretty cool. I love the decor at least. You've got like this massive like space montage thing. I just love all the space like imagery. I know that's what you would expect, here at NASA, but it's just cool to see, like look at this. Imagine having this on your wall. Just, I could stare at this kind of stuff all day.
I used to have stuff kind of like, there's not pictures of the astronauts, but I had a bunch of space stuff, names of the celestial bodies and all that stuff hanging on my wall. I miss all that stuff. But I was just thinking, if NASA, all the money they spent for NASA, if they had just went to tourist route with that stuff, like build a base on the moon and fly tourists to it. Of course, you have to go through a training course and all that, but they probably could have made billions off of it. You know how many people would pay to fly into space and come back?
Annoyingly, I missed the kitchen by like 10 minutes. So I'm going to have to stick with the grab and go food, which isn't too bad. In line for the tram tour. Let's go. I mean, I love that. Look at the imagery on that. Just with the American flag behind the astronaut and the big NASA logo. I'm fanboying over here, genuinely. I can't get enough of this kind of stuff. Ready to get on the bus. Let's go. Guys, as I'm sitting on this bus, it is so warm. It's got to be like 30 degrees out here. Celsius, that is.
What's funny is I was watching, I want to say she was British too, and she made a mistake. Her mistake was she thought she could withstand the heat, and she got sunstroke. So, yeah, she was turning red and out of energy and not feeling too well. So, yeah, so if you're not used to this kind of heat, this kind of weather, it can be bad for you. So you got to be careful. I knew a guy who got sun poisoning, and he came back. I got to work, and I walk in, and he turns around. I'm like, oh, my God, what happened? His face was just swollen. I was like, I would have stayed home. When he's like, overall, he felt fine. It's just he had sun poisoning. It caused his face to swell up. He was in the sun too much.
Which is like...
Oh, and it affects white people more than most other people, just in case you're wondering.
25 degrees Fahrenheit, I think. And we are moving.
States. JSC has been leading the nation in human spaceflight operations for over 60 years.
Wow.
JSC is comprised of 1,620 acres of land. Believe it or not, NASA was able to purchase all this land for the incredible price of just $25 back in 1962.
25.
How did we get that amazing?
Even in 1962, that doesn't seem right. I want to know what they did to get that land.
Bargain, though. Well, Rice University's Longhorns. That's right. Only at Johnson Space Center could you see rockets and prize-winning Texas Longhorns all in one place.
I think that's where they built the...
I think she was saying, but I couldn't understand what she said.
Longhorn project.
Saturn V.
This project was spearheaded by former Center Director George Abbey. This served as a way for NASA to give back to the local community. A wildlife sanctuary. A variety of different animals call this coastal prairie land their home. In fact, as we drive through the JSC campus today, keep an eye out for some white-tailed deer.
Wow, liquid nitrogen, that shit is explosive.
Honestly, if that's real liquid nitrogen, I'm surprised they let people get that close to it, to be honest with you. I mean, hopefully those containers are thick, because it wouldn't take much to set that stuff off.
Aero program. This includes a simulated closed habitat that helps NASA researchers analyze the effects of long-term space missions on human behavior, health, and performance. As we return to Space Center Houston, we'll be making a brief stop at the George W.S. Abbey Rocket Park, where more space history awaits. This stop is optional. Inside the building, you'll find the biggest celebrity rocket here, the Saturn V. This rocket is one of only 3 left in the entire world. Particularly, the Saturn V rocket at Johnson Space Center is comprised of flight-certified hardware for the 3 Captain Apollo missions.
Like, it's just so much bigger. It's impossible to get me and the ship in the same frame. Like, I have to literally go on the grass, I guess. Like, it's just so big.
I wonder if he's just using his phone. He doesn't have a camera.
Wow. This one's pretty cool as well. I'm not sure which one this is. Oh, it says it right here. Well, duh, Kabir. Like, of course there's going to be a sign on it.
Is he by himself here? Because the other one, he had someone with him. So I was just wondering if he was by himself here. Do not climb.
So it's the Mercury Red...
The fact that people don't understand, you don't get to touch and climb on everything.
The first Americans in space. Wow. So is this the first American spaceship that went to space?
Oh, post.
Wow. Look at the size of the engine. It is literally bigger than a lot of cars, I'd say. Look how big this Saturn V is. I mean, it's hard to put into words how big it is. You have to literally be next to it to like get an idea. It is massive. I genuinely think this is about the same size as the plane that brought me here from London. Like, this is, it is enormous, guys. It is so big. I wonder how many times I've said the word big in this video so far. Saturn V rocket. Most powerful rocket in space. This thing is f***ing huge. So NASA built
it. If you missed it, he put it on the screen. That's what she said.
Saturn V rocket to send astronauts to the moon. A heavy lift vehicle, the Saturn V could lift the equivalent of about 10 school buses into orbit. The Saturn V launched manned Apollo program missions from 1968 through 1972. It was also used in the 1973 to launch Skylab, the first American space station. Wow. To carry 3 astronauts. So all of this was to carry 3 astronauts. That's insane. I thought the crew would be a lot bigger than 3.
Now they're all housed in the third section, which is pretty small, actually. That's what I remember. So it's the 3-stage. Stage 1 is the main launch. Stage 2 is when they're outside the Earth orbit. And stage 3 carries them the rest of the way, if I remember correctly. And then I believe it separates again when it goes to land on the moon, like just this part. And then this stays in orbit and it comes back there. I can't remember, it's been so long. Because it lands on the moon and then it takes off and then they land on Earth.
I thought the crew would be like 8 instead of 3, but because like this, all of this to carry 3 people.
Hey everyone, Ryan from Hank's Belts here. Hey, I just wanted to show you real quick 2 of my favorite belts in the line. Montana Bison belt.
To the moon. I mean, this thing, and it was one and done. Like, you know, you use it once and that's it. It's not like SpaceX where they're reusable. So the expense to send these 3 astronauts to the moon must have been enormous. I mean, like, how do they even, like, look at how intricate all of the wires and the cabling and all the pipe work and everything.
I think that's where the whole idea of spaceships having all the stuff on the outside of them comes from, is this. Because when you think of whenever someone draws a spaceship, it always has a bunch of stuff on the outside of it. That's probably where it comes from.
The thing is, in this engine, you know, it just looks so intricate. And all of it has to work for the ship to work. Like, you see what I mean? Like, just, there's like, we're looking at about probably hundreds of pipes. I just don't know how they even designed this. Because they designed this, what, in the 60s? Man, I really applaud, you know, the scientists of the day, of those days, because they didn't have they had computers, but nothing like we have today. And they went to the moon, and we haven't been back to the moon. Look at this. Look how big this cavity is. So this is like a hollowed out Saturn V. I mean, look at that guy's head for scale. Big. Seeing this in the flesh makes me think about how much money and time and effort it must have cost to build something like this. You know, not just because of the actual size of it, but the amount of science that went into this thing. Like, this thing probably had like hundreds, if not thousands, of the smartest people working on it. You know, just to send 3 people into space. And I'm saying just, you know, as if that's like some small thing, but, you know, I'm thinking in today's money, this must have cost billions and billions of dollars. You know, money well spent, in my opinion.
In 2017, with this technology, we can send our astronauts up into space more frequently and at a much lower cost. This will become especially important as we establish an orbiting lunar science station and an outpost on the surface of the moon over the next 20 years. Next to the Falcon 9, you can see a mock-up of the space shuttle.
I think the space shuttle was designed in the 70s, 60s or 70s actually. It's old. And it really hasn't been updated. Even the computers in it haven't been updated. They were supposed to retire it. I don't understand why they never built a new one. It never made sense to me.
And it's on top of the real Boeing 747 short carrier.
Wow. This might just be the most impressive thing I've seen so far here. I mean, the Saturn V was hard to beat. Look at this, the actual space shuttle that went into space.
Actual 747.
Oh, are they inside it?
Enterprise. John Kuiper's vision and the
Oh, it's a museum. They're inside it. I want to go now. I want to go inside the space shuttle. I feel like a kid. I want to go. My wife been wanting to go on a trip. There's a trip.
Followed by years of sheer hard work.
Oh no, they're on the plane. But it had something you could connect it to the space shuttle.
Money and the time, a lot of other things like that became a factor. So I decided to take the engines off and to have more room for payload. So then the problem became one of trying to get the orbiter from California to the Cape. And then after
It's one of the special sites in all the when they're outside on spacewalks, also keep track of things will fall away if you don't have each other. Of course, space.
I think he's in the shuttle now. Yeah, I think that's the space shuttle. I really do feel like a kid. I used to love this stuff. International Space Station. What was the Russian space station called? Was that Mir? I can't remember what that was called. I think that was Mir. All the different badges made for each mission.
Sorry guys, I know it's super dark in here, but yeah, this has really been definitely one of the funnest things I've done in a long time. I mean, just look at everything around here. There's just so much. I suppose because of the massive history of NASA and all they've done in terms of spaceflight, they've accumulated so much hardware. Like, you know, this is all stuff that's, you know, been into space before. Like, they've just got so much of it that they've displayed.
Hey, that's my motivation, get in shape. Get in shape so I can go into space.
Out here. And I think it's amazing because obviously most of us aren't going to get to go to space. So like this is like the closest we're going to get, but it's brilliant seeing so many artifacts like this that have actually been out there. I think it's...
And we're not, I mean, River Oaks is like the innermost suburb.
There we go. That's not that one. There, that's his thumbnail.
Look at the size of this flag in the middle of the mall. Cool. That's the thing about America. I love the patriotism. Love a bit of bling bling. Wow. The food court here in the Galleria Mall. Plenty of options. Pretty impressive, to be fair. Walking through Rice campus, it is really, really beautiful. All of the buildings like look similar. Like universities in England don't often, like the buildings don't often like look the same. It's kind of a mishmash, but all the buildings here all kind of look like that. It's really, really nice.
Not all universities in the U.S. look the same either.
Hey, we're going to the interstate tomorrow.
It's like
the
Blades
billboards
Cup.
everywhere.
One thing I've realised about America.
We're going to the interstate tomorrow.
It's like
the
Blades
billboards
Cup.
everywhere.
One thing I've realized about America is like the level of convenience here is just incredible. Like, I ordered a pair of black trousers or black pants from ASOS before I got here, so this was back in London. I didn't try them on, my mistake. They're too small, so I was worried that I didn't have, you know, pants to wear, black trousers. And I've downloaded DoorDash, and I've got a pair of black pants heading to me, and they're going to be here in less than 30 minutes. You know, they're in my size, they're exactly the fit that I want as well, and they're going to be with me in 30 minutes. Like, we just don't have that facility in London.
Really?
It's just crazy. It's super impressive.
I'm not surprised by that. I would have thought UK, you know, a lot of times I'll hear like the US has something that other countries don't have, and you think that would be something they would have. So to hear that the UK doesn't have something like that is interesting. And even Japan is like that too. It's like a lot of features like DoorDash where you can pretty much order anything. They don't have it. And it's like, why don't you have this? This is so convenient. And I don't know if it has to do with the laws or just they never thought to have it over there. I don't know.
All these buses, you just genuinely wouldn't see this in England. I love the colour on it, super cool.
That was a fun 3 days in Houston. I am going to miss it. I loved, you know, just how there was just so much of everything, so many cool bars, you know, so many cool restaurants, so many cool, just the graffiti as well. I don't even know if you can call it graffiti. Like, I think it was art. Like all of the, you know, the big like paintings and murals and stuff on the walls, on the buildings.
Some of it may not be actual graffiti. It may be art because a lot of buildings now pay to have that stuff put on there. So it could be actual art.
Such a cool...
Not illegal stuff. I guess I'll wear more t-shirts. I wear my polo shirts just because they're nice looking. And I don't have that many t-shirts I want to be seen in public because they're old. Like I have another shirt that I sleep in. The armpits are dead in them. It's just a big hole. It just dawned on me because he's wearing a shirt there.
So I'll definitely be back to Houston, and yeah, I really loved it. Really loved it. Houston, I will be black. I will be black. Houston, I will be back.
I love American grocery stores, like the layout.
That's another thing too. Like the UK is always fascinated by our grocery stores because a lot of, if you've never been over here to our grocery stores, a lot of foreigners think all we have is artificial stuff. There's way more than just artificial stuff. We have a variety of everything.
It feels really sort of like rustic. I don't know if that's the word I'm looking for, but it feels like a market almost, like an indoor market. Maybe it's just this one though, because like Walmarts look quite similar to the supermarkets we have back home. But yeah, I love it.
Something about the colours and just the way it looks in here. I really dig it. Like I love how the deli, they have all the meats like right in front like that. It's really cool.
We'll be that way to this because that's gonna be north. Yeah, it's uptown that way. Yeah, see, downtown Dallas is nothing.
Plain gorgeous.
I'll be honest with you, I've been to a couple big cities, and I guess maybe it's because I'm American. I'm just not that impressed by big cities anymore. That they all kind of start to blur together and look the same.
Right, I've just sent you the 4-hour ebook. Jeez. Did I trigger you?
Just arrived in the Dallas hotel. It's pretty nice, as we can see. Let me flip it around.
My ride.
Experience may feel futuristic, but the need to buckle up is the same as always. So keep your seatbelt fastened, please.
I don't know. I'd be scared to death of this.
cool. The hotel.
Is that the hotel stand?
Yeah, it's pretty
I'm
sweet.
actually getting dizzy.
Probably.
Good stuff spinning. This just looks like Pittsburgh to me. Or Cincinnati. So I mean, it all kind of starts to look the same to me. I know in a lot of foreign countries they don't have buildings like this. So let him sweat through his shirt.
I'm really liking Dallas. It feels a bit like a mash of like New York and London in a way, with the buildings and stuff. It's really, really hot though. Like it's like 6 p.m. and it still feels like 30, 35 degrees, like high humidity as well.
Yes.
Yeah, the heat's gonna take some getting used to, but in terms of the vibes, like how it looks and the things you can do here, I like it, I'm enjoying it.
One of the roads with hotels, right? Yeah. So I guess the Asian private.
I'm getting dizzy. Who's this?
Well, I actually don't think yet.
Yeah, stabilizer is turned on. That might help. JFK Museum. I have no desire to go to that museum.
This is a pretty cool store. Lots of cowboy boots and stuff. Real nice.
So many options for these shoes.
He doesn't really show his friends.
It's literally like walls, like the whole.
Because from the first video I watched, I wasn't
really
sure.
nice.
I know he had a cameraman. It doesn't seem to have a camera on
Let's
this.
see
So
how much.
So I'm kind of wondering if that camera was just for that.
No price on them. I'm guessing they're probably like 400 or so.
A lot of big buildings here in Dallas. Dallas is a cool city. Very sort of like hip. Lots of good food. Lots to do. Hot though. Very hot. It's super cool.
I think those two are rich friends.
SMU, baby.
So this flag looks like it's a half-mast. That means somebody has died.
Yep.
For Juneteenth. No?
I'm just buzzing.
Like, I mean, doesn't that look like a state capital? It really does. Like, it's so big and impressive, especially because it's got the dome at the top as well. Nice. Wow. Look at this. I mean,
I just like the way he's impressed by everything. I guess just being American, you've seen it, so it's not that impressed.
It's beautiful. Look at this building. And that's just like one of the buildings here on this campus. Like, I went to a pretty good uni, and that building would be like, first of all, that kind of building you never saw at my campus, at my uni. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, my eyes started twitching. I don't know what was going on.
American universities, I mean, at least the ones that we've seen, so Rice and now SMU, just beautiful. Like, it's incredible. The size, how they, maintain the grounds, it's just wow.
As much as they charge, they better maintain it.
In this hotel room is so powerful. Look what it's done to my hair.
It's Chick-fil-A. American flag.
So
So where are they opening the first one in the UK? Or is it not?
I'm not sure, like somewhere around.
Do they not have Chick-fil-A here in the UK? For some reason I felt like they do. Maybe where he lives in the UK they don't have it.
The drive here took like 2.5 hours from Dallas. So yeah, a little bit tired, but really excited to be here in Austin. This is the last stop of the trip. We're gonna try and get to Terry Black's barbecue and see some live music. Yeah, I'm buzzing.
No expense.
Can't imagine Selena came here.
No.
In Fredericksburg, Texas.
My fear would be to go down there to try Terry Black's, and I don't like it. I don't like everyone's cooking. And a lot of times for me, what's popular, and I go down there and I try it, and I'm like, it's good, but it's like, I hate to be that guy to be like, yeah, it's not worth the trip. I'll just keep my mouth shut if it turns out to be that way. Was that their truck they were... I think that's the... Hold on. Yeah, I think he's standing next to the truck they're driving.
Texas.
Yeah, that's what
we're dogs around, yeah. Look at how cool this car is. Look at that. Here I am, Fredericksburg, Texas. It's a nice little town. It definitely feels a lot more Texas than Houston, Austin, and Dallas, and by that I mean like because it's not full of like skyscrapers. It's full of like, you know, typical looking Texan buildings. Like we just went in a souvenir store where I grabbed this, and it literally felt like a scene from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Real Texas. Sure. Jaeger Schnitzel. Just had some German Wiener Schnitzel at this place here in Fredericksburg, Texas. It was really, really tasty.
Dude, you need like a stabilizer thing. You're making me dizzy. Like you need the handheld thing that has the stabilizer on it. So no matter what you're doing, now you can be doing all this and it just stabilizes. He needs that. And depending on the phone he has, a lot of those phones have some stuff built into it. So, or download the app.
Like a fried sort of steak kind of thing. Delicious. Bye-bye, Dodge Ram. Gonna miss you, buddy. What a car. What a car.
That's funny. I just had Panda Express for the first time last week, and I really enjoyed it. I got the orange chicken. I just always heard about the orange chicken, so I wanted to try it, and it was good. Maybe we'll get it again.
So it's been a week since we got back from Texas. Got back Tuesday afternoon of last week. It was such a quick trip, honestly. It went so fast. Like we were there for just under a week, so 6 nights, I believe it was, and we flew back on the 7th night. And there were certain things about it that I really, really loved, like, you know, that sort of stand out. I just thought I'd have a little chat with you about it.
He looks tired if you look around his eyes. It's probably the jet lag still hasn't it. I know it said it's been a week, but he still looks tired.
By the way, guys, sorry for the shaky cam. I'm at my my family's house, so I don't have my tripod or any other like filming equipment. Literally, all I've got is my like backup mic, so that's why the camera's a bit shaky. I'm like holding it with my hand, so sorry about that. So the first thing I really loved about Texas was the weather, and I know some of you are going to be thinking, Kabir, like it was really, really...
Well, now how tall he is. because I was just looking at the door frame and stuff. It's got to be at least 6 foot or more.
You mean? I just love how consistent it was. Like here in the UK, the weather's really up and down. Like it might be warm on the Monday and then the next day it'll be like quite cold. I just love the consistent heat of Texas. You know, whether it was Houston, Dallas or Austin, the sun was out, it was warm, you know, you could walk around in a t-shirt and shorts. I really, really loved that because, you know, here in England, you get maybe a month to 5 weeks of summer. You don't really get a lot of summer. And it just feels like you kind of know what you expect being in Texas. You expect it to be warm for a
month of summer? That would suck. We get June, July, and August at least. But a month? Just 1 month of summer? I don't know if I would survive with a month of summer. I'd be so mad.
A lot of the year.
Oh, is that why the British are so depressing sometimes? This is why they always seem like they're depressed, because it's always raining and they got zero sunshine. That would bring you down.
The sun's out, you can walk around in your sunglasses, your shorts. You know, I had like a frappuccino and iced coffee in my hand most of the time when I was out there. It was brilliant. I really, really liked that. And I can imagine, you know, when it gets to like real summer, it might get sort of like too hot. And, you know, there were moments where it kind of was getting close to that when it was like 35 degrees Celsius and high humidity. But yeah, I still found it quite nice, to be honest with you. I know there's probably Texans watching this thinking, you know, Kabir, try and deal with that, you know, for 6 months at a time. And maybe because I've not experienced that before, I don't really, you know, maybe that's why I'm speaking so positively about it. But yeah, I enjoyed it. And kind of following on from the heat, like I loved how everywhere had air conditioning in Texas, you know.
That's something else too. Like, it's not just the UK, like other countries that are just as hot or hotter will complain that, what do you need AC for? It's like, because it's hot. Like, I mean, like I'm literally sweating just breathing, or my sweat has sweat, you know. If I don't want to be that hot, so why wouldn't I? If I can afford AC, why wouldn't I get AC? You know, when we look for our house, one of the things my wife was like, we got to have central air. It's like, she's not putting up with that. She's like, I want central air. We got central air. But yeah, I don't understand these countries or these people in these other countries that think it's a flex that they don't have AC. That's stupid. Get AC.
Let's say you get out of your car, you've parked maybe, you know, 5-minute walk from wherever you're going. Yeah, it's going to be really hot for that walk. You might start sweating a little bit, but as soon as you walk into that restaurant, it's like whoosh, you know, you get hit with that gust of cold, crisp air conditioning, and it's everywhere. Every restaurant that we went to had air conditioning. Most of the bars had air conditioning. You know, the hotels, every single sort of like, even the university buildings when we went to MSU and Rice, all had air conditioning, and it just makes it so much more bearable, you know, especially when you're living in a place like Texas where the summers get really, really hot. Like here in the UK, air conditioning is only really found in office spaces. You know, most restaurants don't have AC. 99% of pubs and bars don't have AC. So, you know, it was such a nice relief, like being in a place.
Well, why not have? See UK videos, not even his videos where he talks about how, I'm pretty sure he had a video where they talked about, you know, he knows people who think it's a flex not to have AC. And it's like, that's not the flex you think it is.
Where everywhere had AC. And I know there's some people that will be like, it's not very eco-friendly, and I get that, but if you're living somewhere where it's really, really hot, you need AC. The people were also really friendly. Like, I really loved that because I'm somebody who, you know, likes starting, you know, conversations with people that I don't know. Maybe I'm in the queue, you know, at the grocery store, and I noticed that the person's wearing like an arse.
I'm beginning to see why he likes America. Because everything I hear about the UK is like, don't try to strike up a conversation. So yeah, he was born in the wrong country.
Top or something. I'll have a chat with you. So I'm the kind of person that likes having, you know, quick random conversations with people. And Texas just had that in a
Stand still. Sorry. Because I watched this other video and he kept spinning and spinning and spinning. It actually was making me dizzy.
abundance. People would just hear my accent. They'd be like, "Are you from England?" And I'd be like, "Yeah." And then we just have this like, you know, nice conversation. It happened everywhere we went. Bars, pubs, you know, restaurants. It was really, really consistent throughout the different cities that we went to.
What was that? Because he said bars, pub, and then it said the vineyard. Did I go too far?
It happened everywhere we went. Bars, pubs, you know.
I wonder why you put that up. Because we, depending on where you are, we call them pubs too in the U.S. We'll call them pubs and bars, and because a vineyard is something different than a pub and a bar. Yeah, we have all the above. We'll call them all the above. It's like Americans aren't as hung up on that stuff as people think. It's like, if you want to call it a pub, call it a pub. We don't care. Go there to get drunk. So no one's really going to care.
Restaurants, it was really, really consistent throughout the different cities that we went to. And I just find that really charming. You know, I think they call it Southern hospitality. I'm not sure if Texas is part of the South technically. Americans let me know that really charming. You know, I think they call it Southern hospitality. I'm not sure if Texas is part of the South technically. Americans let me know if that's the case or not.
Yeah.
But
yes, it is part of the South.
Yeah, I really, really loved how open and chatty and approachable Texans were. Is that consistent throughout the whole country, or is that something unique to Texas?
It's not unique to Texas, and it also depends on where you're at. Because there are places in Texas where they would have bit your head off. And honestly, because of your skin color, you could have disappeared. It all depends. For the most part, most Americans are just minding their own business, being polite, just trying to get through life. And I think for Americans, the problem is the loudest ones are the ones that get heard. And it's usually the loudest and the wrongest. Like they're the loudest and the most wrong all the time. It seems like they think they represent America and they don't. Overall, America is not a bad place to live. Well, we do need to go back in time and change a few things. But yeah, overall, America is not a bad place to live. At least I hope it stays that way.
And the South. Now, this, I suppose, depends on your perspective, but I loved the portion sizes. You know, the portion sizes were generous. Like, you know.
Yeah, he's talked about that before, the portion sizes, because he talks about the portion sizes a lot, because he's a big eater apparently. And I think that's interesting. When you have a big eater in the UK, you got to order like 2 or 3 helpings of something in order to get like an American size portion.
I would say the average portion size was at least 40 to 50% bigger in most of the restaurants than the restaurants that you'd find here in England.
Also, I'll be honest with you. I've said it before, like we're the fattest country and the fittest country because we have a lot of fitness going on. I mean, and the fat part is getting better, like it's going down. Because there are more and more people realizing, oh, this is not healthy, and they're working out more, or trying to eat better. Like me, I'm trying to eat better, and I well, not lately, but I have been working out. I need to get back into it. The past couple of weeks, I haven't worked out. It's just so much stuff going on. My daughter graduated high school, so there's that. But yeah, it's just so much stuff going on. This past couple of weeks. But overall, I think the whole portion size doesn't so much come out of that we're fat. Just we eat and we're moving a lot. Americans usually aren't as lazy as people think. Most Americans are too busy moving around, so they sit down, grab a meal, and then they're moving. They're gone. They're going to do something. And I don't mean just going out to do like fun stuff. We got work to do. So I think that's where the whole portion size comes into play. It's like we had a moment where we could eat all that and still go out and do 3 days work in 1 hour. But now we eat all that and then we go home and watch 3 hours of TV sitting still. So that's what's changed, and I think we just need to get back to being active again.
You guys know me. I'm a massive foodie. I really, really love my food.
See, that's what I was talking
so
about.
it was just nice being properly full. Like sometimes you go to a restaurant here and I'm just not full, and I don't want to order 2 meals because they'll start looking at me funny.
With my personality, I would order 2 meals. I'm like, this ain't going to fill me up. I would order 2 meals.
Being able to know that, if I order this one dish, I don't need to order like a bunch of extras or a bunch of sides, it's going to fill me up, and, I guess, if you're someone who maybe struggles with your weight, I can see why it might be a negative having big portions as the default, but yeah, I loved it. I loved it. The convenience really blew my mind. We've got Uber Eats over here and, you can get groceries and stuff delivered with Uber Eats now, which is pretty cool, but it is nothing compared to DoorDash and what you guys can get delivered to you. I told the story.
I think it's interesting because Uber, you can get Uber stuff. Uber does more than just Uber Eats. You can get other stuff delivered too through Uber. Didn't they change the name because it wasn't, is it still called Uber Eats or anyway, I know you can get other things delivered through Uber as well, but I just think that interesting that they just now got to where you can do more with Uber Eats over there.
The vlogs that I made that, I'd ordered a pair of trousers, black pants, and I hadn't tried them on before we left, and they were too small. So, I was panicking, thinking I've only got one pair of trousers to wear for this whole trip. And, I went on Reddit and, I saw people saying, DoorDash, you can get clothing delivered. I was like, no way can you get clothing. So I downloaded DoorDash.
And the stuff has arrived. Bang on time, 24 minutes later, I have my black trousers. Perfect.
And yeah, you can literally buy clothes, furniture, all kinds of stuff and have it delivered to you within 30 minutes. I could not believe it. Obviously, Now,
I will say, I do know that's not everywhere throughout the U.S. And it all depends if it's available. But I said this on the last video, I'm just shocked that, UK doesn't have it. And it's not just UK, there's a lot of countries that don't have that feature, have the delivery feature. And I think that's interesting.
You have to pay a delivery fee, sales tax, tip them and all that stuff, which, I suppose if you were to go and pick it up yourself, you wouldn't have to pay as many things. But, I was in a bind. I had to meet my friends
It's what we call the convenience fee.
In an hour. So I didn't have the time, to go to a Macy's or whatever. So it was just so cool, just having that facility. And yeah, just that sort of convenience, being able to get whatever you want, have it delivered to you. Such a cool feature. I can see them bringing it here probably in the next few years. To be honest, I don't know why we don't have it now, but yeah, it will be very popular when they bring it here. Another thing is because Texas is so big, the roads are they're just straight, very few corners, very few sharp bends. When you're driving, you can almost kind of just coast, really.
We got a couple roads that are straight. That's a lot of roads in the U.S. actually. It's not just a Texas thing. And in the last video I talked about how, you see how they're stuttering. He's driving I don't think he drove at all. One of his friends is driving, but they rented a Dodge Ram. And if they drove that big truck over in the UK, they'd just be running over cars, and probably people too. People could probably just walk under it. But our roads are just bigger and wider because we got the space. And the UK space is at a premium.
The gas, holding steady, your hands are on the wheel, and you can have nice sort of kind of in-depth conversations with your friends and stuff. Whereas here, because, you know, the country's a lot smaller, you know, there's a lot of sharp bends. There's not very long straights that go on for like miles and miles and miles, unless you're on like, you know, one of the main motorways, like the M1 or something like that. So, you know, just being able to like drive in a chilled out manner, I thought is really, really cool. You know, Texas is absolutely huge. I couldn't believe how big it is. Like, you know, people had already told me, Kabir, Texas is massive, Texas is massive. I was like, you know, how big can it really, really be? And
it's massive.
My God, like we drove from Dallas to Austin and that took 3 hours, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to like superimpose a little screen grab of how small that distance is relative to the entirety of Texas. It's mind-blowing. Whereas if you were to drive 3 hours from the bottom of the country, you'd be near the middle. You'd be in Nottingham. Like someone told me that you can fit Texas into you could fit the UK into Texas 3 times, which is crazy because the UK is made up of 4 countries. So you can fit 4 countries into one of the 50 states of America. That's just like mind-blowing. And the final thing I'm going to touch on, but arguably the most important thing that I loved about Texas is
also, depending on which direction you're going, from what I understand, if you travel 4 hours, usually in the UK, depending on unless you're going tip to tip, well, actually, the UK is made up of, what do you say, 4 countries? You'd be driving between countries. So, yeah. You're just still driving in Texas for 4 hours. And it's not just Texas. We have a lot of states like that. You can drive 4 hours and still be in that state. West Virginia is like that. You can drive for 4 hours in West Virginia and still be in the same state.
It's the entrepreneurial spirit of the people. Like, you know, there's an attitude in Texas that I felt so strongly. There's like a kind of go and get it sort of mentality that I loved. You know, everybody's trying to, you know, better themselves. Everybody's chasing the American dream. You know, everybody's trying to make it. Like, you know, you can see it when you're driving down the highways. You can just see businesses everywhere. People are hustling. People are moving. I loved it. I love that spirit. And that's really what made America into what it is today. You know, that's really, you know, that America, this titan, this economic juggernaut is built on small SMEs, small and medium sized businesses. So it's just great. You know, it was great being there and seeing that spirit, you know, seeing the people, you know.
What's funny is I hear that a lot when I watch people, especially people from the UK, not just other countries. The UK says it's a lot. Like, what's the other guy I watched, Lewis? He talks about he had a friend, and he's brought up multiple times where he had a friend, and he was the only one that really encouraged that friend to go for it, and the other friends put that friend down, and he lost friends over that. But, well, not Lewis lost friends, but the friend who went for it, he lost friends, but he's successful. He went for it, and he's successful, and he's happy, and he's glad he did it. And that is a big difference between the U.S. and UK, that even if people put you down over here, you can still find people who will cheer you on. And that's not to say, like I said, there are people here who will put you down because they're jealous of the fact that you're going to do something they're not. I never understood that mentality. It's like, I like to see people succeed. Do I get jealous of their success? Yeah, I'll admit that, but not to the point where I'm going to put them down. I might joke with them like, what did you have to do to get that success or something like that. But overall, I'm proud that they did it. It's like, in a way I am kind of, especially if I know, I'm like, wow, man, I can't believe you did it. Congratulations, you know, and I'm happy for them. And I just wish more people were like that. Like, I like to see people succeed, especially black people. I love seeing black people succeed. We're capable of doing anything. So, yeah, stop putting people down. Be more happy. It's okay to be jealous. Just don't be green-eyed jealous, meaning don't go overboard with jealousy. It's like, I'm jealous of people who have nice cars. Of course, now I have a nice car. But, yeah, people don't realize it's okay to be jealous, depending on what it is, but not to the extreme that it messes stuff up. Like, I don't do jealousy in relationships. My wife knows that, and we have a great relationship as a result. But being jealous over someone's success, it's okay. But just be a realistic jealousy. Like, hey, I'm jealous that you were able to do that and I couldn't. But congratulations. All right, let's get back to it.
Like, embody that American go-get-it attitude that I loved. I wish we had it more here. Here, if you start a business, there's just so many rules and regs. And don't get me wrong, like, rules and regulations are needed, to a degree.
We need more over here, actually, to take down some of these big businesses.
But it's a lot harder here, I feel, to start and build a business than it would be in a place like Texas. I feel like Texas probably encourages entrepreneurialism maybe a bit more than we do here. And, that American dream, that American desire, to make it, to build a better life for yourself and your family. I loved it. I really, really loved it. Yeah, man, I loved Texas, genuinely. I'm going to be back in America this year. 95% sure it's going to be in September or October. Because, I came with friends. I didn't really...
Ooh, he should go someplace where it's snowing so he can really get an idea just how extreme our weather can be. It can go from extreme hots to extreme colds.
As much as I would have wanted, because because I've vlogged quite a lot. I didn't want to vlog the whole time, setting up tripods at the dinner table and stuff like that. So when I come in September, October, I'm going to come by myself or with a cameraman, and I'm going to explore. Hopefully I'm going to do a meet and greet as well, so I can meet a bunch of you guys, which would be amazing. And I'll have a lot more time to do things, to film stuff, and it will just be awesome, especially because football season would have started as well. Like, I want to go to at least one NFL and one college football game. I want to experience tailgating.
I haven't been to a professional football game or a college football game. I've been to football games in high school, but I've never been a big sports guy. I've been to a Major League Baseball game once. I feel like I went twice. I may have went twice. That's why I was in Canada and we were eating at the, there was the Needle in Canada. Where's that at? I can't remember where that's at. And there was a game. I think the Blue Jays were playing. So yeah, technically I've been to 2 Major League Baseball games, but I've just never really been into sports.
And all the camaraderie, I think it'll be awesome. And if you guys want to do something, shoot me an email. That's kabirconsiders@yahoo.com. And Texas was awesome. I will be back.
Well, that was interesting. Like that, it was obviously he loved his trip. But I hope he gets to visit more than just Texas. But I will say, if he wants to see a high school football game, even, Texas might be the place to go for that. And for Major League, there's plenty of places to go for a Major League football game and college football games. I hope he comes for one of the big tailgate parties. If he makes his way to West Virginia, WVU does a great tailgate party. I know that. I personally haven't been to them because I don't do sports. But yeah, WVU does a great job with tailgating. They go all out. There's Pittsburgh near here, and there's just a lot that he could be doing throughout the United States. There's so many things he could go see. So I hope if he comes back, I hope he goes someplace else other than just Texas, because there's a lot in the U.S. to do. That's why when I always find it funny when I hear foreigners talking about U.S. doesn't know anything about the rest of the world. Most, talking about you don't know geography. Yeah. Because we have no desire to leave the country. But there's a lot more people do have passports. But even then, a lot of them will leave the country and come right back. So it's like, it's nice to go visit someplace else, but I'm coming right back home. But I would like to get out and travel a little more. Maybe want to get some money together. Maybe I'll go to another country. Who knows? Don't forget to like and subscribe. Everyone take care. Later.